The widening income gap and racial disparities in our country have only been magnified by this pandemic. As families have struggled to keep food on the table after losing jobs through no fault of their own, we've seen our Republican colleagues object time and again to additional relief payments and to extending unemployment. They said it wasn't necessary, but they did have bigger hearts to support relief for a small number of very fortunate Americans. Senate Republicans embraced a special tax expenditure that gave 82% of its benefits to those with annual incomes of over $1 million, each of whom got an average benefit of $1.6 million. This net operating losses provision offers retroactive tax breaks for losses incurred 2 years before anyone had ever heard of COVID-19, nor can it be justified based on economic recovery. Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's, found that this type of provision of the 20 that he studied was the least likely to benefit the economy, generating only about 27 cents for every dollar that was invested there. The hedge fund managers and the real estate speculators did very well with this provision, but plumbers and bus drivers, nurses and teachers got nothing. And Republicans cared so much for those at the top that they were so generous with this relief that it cost more at the time that infections were soaring than all of the money in the same bill that was allocated to all of the hospitals in all of America. To be honest, such a huge tax giveaway would never have occurred without the acquiescence of some Democrats to a provision buried in a 300-plus page bill. Since last summer, a number of us, most recently 120 members of the House and Senate, have sought repeal of this egregious provision and using the money to invest in those with genuine need. It's more than troubling that today's bill inexplicably does nothing about this wrong. Fortunately, what the bill does contain offers significant benefits to many Americans who face day-to-day struggle to provide for their families. In the face of the Trump-provoked anti-immigrant hysteria of last year, thousands of American citizens and families with American citizen children were denied any relief because one of their family members paid their taxes using, instead of a Social Security number, an I-10, an individual taxpayer identification number. And these children will also no longer be excluded from other benefits in this bill, and injustice is corrected. Additionally, the new relief payments will be available to others who've been unfairly excluded, like dependents of all ages, as students and the disabled. And with the unceasing advocacy of our colleague Rosa DeLauro, joined in the committee by our colleague Ms. Delbeni, this bill includes the first year of what many experts have said is a generational change in child poverty. It assures the full benefit of a refundable child tax credit, which for the first time will be delivered in monthly payments. It assures that this full benefit will be extended to families that were just too poor to get help in the past. This expansion is expected to lift 4 million children out of poverty. For many, it means food and shelter and hope. And some poorer families will also benefit from our making the child and dependent care credit fully refundable, so they can obtain access to child care. With the leadership of Chairman Neal, this bill expands the earned income tax credit, one of our most effective ways of fighting poverty, to over 17 million childless workers to help them work themselves out of poverty. Recognizing that so many struggling families and our economy just cannot wait any longer, I support this legislation today for what it does, not for what it doesn't.